Okay, Annette, my name is Vernon Acoose. Thank you very much again for all of your time and effort coming out here tonight to listen to us the second night. Last night we were out at the reserve there. I wanted to start again by introducing myself. Again, my name is Vernon Acoose from the Zagnamay First Nation. I was born here in Regina, actually. General Hospital to my mom. My mom had me. Her name is Vicky Acoose. My dad was Vernon Belanger from Ochapowace and Cowsis, Redwood side. Grew up in this city a lot of my life. When I was younger, I remember Rothwell Crescent, 1818 Quebec Street to Thompson Avenue. Lived with my grandma quite a bit. We'd come down quite a bit. Cousins were like, brothers and sisters and very close. Grew up with, in poverty, that cycle with crime, with drugs, violence, the whole works. The jails out here, the correctional center. When I was little, it was nothing for me to be running around in a correctional center out here. All of you guys that might know it, I'm not saying any of you do, but some of you might. In the back there, when I was just a little kid, I'd run around and I can remember there was a gym with bathrooms in the far side. Outside in the summer, there'd be grass and the fence and whatnot. So that's where I come from. As I grew up and had my kids, it really made me change my life. I sure didn't want to go to jail. I realized that. I didn't want drugs. I hated drugs all my life. I've seen what it did. Didn't want that in my life. Kept that and preach against it all the time. I never smoked in my life, and I'm pretty much an angel. I'm just kidding there. I drank and gotten, sticky situations here and there. I will never lie about my life. But I learned. I haven't drank. I haven't been drunk in, I don't know, probably 6 years. And if I was, lucky enough and had the honor to be chief or council, I would never even think of drinking or doing drugs or anything like that while serving our people. When my kids came, I went to university. I was very fortunate. Reserve put me through, got my degrees, business admin, BA in Indian Studies, called it Indian Studies back then. At SIFC here, I owe them a lot, I was telling everyone. From there, I had a great career. I don't want to spend a lot of time. Had a really good career with SIGA, FSIN. I got to work with a lot of chiefs. I got to meet a lot of government officials, negotiated deals on both sides. Went to Ottawa, did the Prime Minister thing, all that kind of stuff. Had some really good experiences. I learned a lot. I've been retired now for over 5 years, 6 years, somewhere in there. And I love life, that's for sure. Why I run for chief, though, is not for me. It is for, that feeling of giving back, of higher powers that I owe. Our forefathers, for instance, higher powers, if you want to believe that. I feel I owe that, and I can bring some honor there. So, I started this journey again this time around, and I wanted to meet our membership because that was a weakness. I totally agree. Didn't grow up on the reserve. In the cities, it's very hard to know all of our members. You look around this room, to get to know everybody would be a great honor for me if I was chief. I would dedicate myself to try and get out and meet everybody. But to know everybody is very tough without having day-to-day interactions. So I started to try and reach out through Facebook, through having small meetings, asking people to come out and listen to their concerns. I hear my family's concerns all the time. I don't need to know what those are. We share the same issues. But I had to hear from other people. So I came to Regina, Saskatoon, and all over, talked to different people. And some of the easy ones were communication. We were sitting in the room down here at the election meeting, and the point of, why do we never do question and answer? Even in this forum, why do we not do question and answer periods? I'd love to be able to do that. I think we owe that to our membership to answer those tough questions. Looked at some simple ones as far as inner city, exhibition passes, Christmas bonuses. And a lot of people might say, well, you're just worried about money. But when you don't have money, you kind of worry about money. So yes, I understand that more people would like to see an increase. So those are the kind of things that I heard through our interactions. Communication was such an easy one too. Today I was sitting at the reserve with my mom, and we were going through some of her notes. She had some, I have them on my phone, pictures, and it's crazy. 1986, there was a newsletter on paper sent out to our membership, and it's awesome. It's pretty cool to look at and read. Mentions FSIN updates, all those kind of things, what's going on the reserve. Had a calendar of events for the full year, actually. And there was also minutes attached from band meetings. So in some ways, our reserve and our leaders, I give them credit. They've taken us, forward, but in some ways we've also gone backwards, and we're not, inclusive of all our members. I told this story yesterday about how many times I've met some of our members that say that they are kind of disowned from the reserve. They don't want nothing to do with it, and that's terrible to me. I think every one of our members should be proud where we're from. We want them to come and be part of us and be part of our lineage and our history. That's what we need to do. We need to get everybody back to wanting to be part of it, not because of money, but because of pride. I think from there, I started to form my values, align my values with what I've been hearing as well. And I created this pamphlet for anybody that doesn't have it out there. We have a bunch back there, but I start with the family development. I'm very big on family, very loyal, and very strong on trying to see my family, live a good life. Not everything is money. Health is the most important to me. But housing, you cannot have a healthy family if we do not, house our people right. In the cities, it is tough. But what do? Do we just sit back and let the province continue to try and push our people out of houses? And that's what's happening. Let's just be real. This provincial government has been doing it for 10 years now. They've been putting in programs, cutting welfare programs so that people get pushed out of their house and are on the street. You look at homelessness now, it's a big, big factor. That's the reason. It's a provincial initiative because there is a shortage of housing. There's more and more people coming in. So what do we have to do? We need to tackle this. This is not fun and games when we see our own people living on the streets. You got health issues. You got lifelong learning. You got all those things. We need to really invest in our people and bring them and make sure that they're safe. You got, we want care homes. We want all of those things to help our own people. You got treaty rights on the next quadrant. Treaty rights are something we can never risk. It's always been very important to me to be able to say I'm a treaty Indian, not because of the tax breaks at the gas station, but when you can go hunting and you can live a good life, and that's my culture. That's what I love to do. That's what I do to experience what, long ago, how we would have lived. I'm a hunter. We got to make sure those crowns, obligations, all of those treaties that we have, we got to make sure that they're living up to those. Want to increase our ability to pass on our culture, the ceremonies. We want to have language retention and start to grow it more. I'm a terrible example of someone I cannot learn. I was just talking back here. I have trouble, I admit it, and I'm a little bit shy to even try talk sometimes. Safety and protocol, both on reserve and in the cities. How many times do our people get kind of railroaded, and I'm trying to use nice language, railroaded in our justice system, in our healthcare system? How many times? I'd like to see us create avenues for, having some experts to talk to, give them a call, ask them what's our best avenue in this. Not represent necessarily all the time, but at least give them some advice. I know there's programs out there, but sometimes those do not work for our own people. But child family services, we got to take that serious. We got our own law going, but we need to step that game up because we cannot afford kids, kids' lives. Environmental stewardship, that's such a big one. It's such an easy thing to say, but money often trumps when we're looking at cash, So we need to make sure that that lake, those rivers, that air, all of those things stay healthy for our people. Growth and prosperity, I'll get into more economic development as far as I go into my mandate, but there's so much opportunity. We got land in Regina, we got Littlebone First Nation land out there, we got so much opportunity on the reserve. We got such valuable resources right in this room for a workforce. We need to start to take advantage of that, grow, and start to, give those dividends, that cash back to our people. So we need to strategize, evaluate, and keep moving forward and building. As far as from there, I went into my mandate, or political platform, what people call. I say that's my commitments. Day one, this is what I would work for. I put that out there. Improve communications, such an easy one. Website, meetings, liaison in the cities, increase payments to membership. Again, I put out numbers, and I will work day one to start to get you that. Increase in a Christmas bonus, increase to a spring bonus, all these different things. Seniors, we currently give the seniors that are 65 plus 300 that live off reserve. I think we should give that to on reserve, plus increase it to $400. Increase for our staff on reserve. They work hard, but far too often we're not treating them fair when it comes to the provincial standards. Cows and plows, I won't spend a lot of time, but I'd like to get that settled as fast as I can and make sure that it's fair to you. You decide which way it goes. Do we settle? Do we not? And if we do, how much do you want? That's up to membership. Build a care home on reserve for our elders. I'd really like to see that. I talked to a couple, and that's the one thing that we have a care home, but they have to leave the reserve and their families can't visit. That's a big thing. As I get older, my mother gets older, families, you start to realize that's coming, and it is good to be able to take care of our older people. Drug and alcohol rehab center, treatment center, whichever term you want to use. We need that on reserve, or in Broadview I was thinking, because we have a building. But I think we also need some options in the city. Whether we do partnerships to figure something out and create a business out of it, at the same time help our people. That's what we need to do. Need a band office. We need economic development. Like I said, there's so much opportunity, so much potential for us to do in economic development. It's crazy. And I give them credit, ZMAL and everybody, for what they've done. I would just love to see us get to the next level. Create councils. I'd like to see us, in a sense, it's like the committee concept. I'd like one for elders. I'd like one for urban. I'd like one for youth councils, hunting councils. I give credit to the guys out at the reserve, Littlebone, they got hunting councils. Let's continue that, but expand it to full growth of vegetables, farming, everything. Like we can grow it so much. The next one would be, protection program. We really need to up that game again. You got some emergencies that happen on the reserve quite regular, way too regular for comfort. You got a fire, you got emergencies as far as medical, you got threats to the community. We need to have something in place. Okay, well, thank you very much. I will cut that short. Again, I thank you very much. I'm not, I ask you humbly for your vote, of course, but I'm actually going to be greedy and ask you to spread the word out to your family. And thank you very much. Megwich.